So I saw Death Wish, and I'm shocked that with the source material and Eli Roth as the director, it had such a light tone and it seems so tame. So with the original, there was a sense of big cities, in particular New York, as just being overrun with crime and just turning into these wastelands. And if you look at a movie like Taxi Driver, you know, a great movie, but able to convey this sense of just an urban jungle. This movie, you never got the sense that the city was really falling apart. The city seemed to be doing pretty well, and part of that was just it was so bright. Like everything they shot, if there was ever a time where they could have shot the scenes a little darker, I think it was this movie. But everything was so light and bright. The radio announcers, when they're talking about it, just in these buoyant radio announcers, fake enthusiasm way, the memes and social media, everything was just so goofy. Even the cops, you know, saying things like, don't post it on social media like I know you like to do, just. And then the old fuddy-duddy, you know, looking at the video, just everything was so goofy. The violence, I mean, I guess a highlight was a dart getting, a bar dart going through someone's hand, but even that was kind of goofy. Then someone gets hit with an electric guitar, a bowling ball falls on someone's head. It's just this goofy Three Stooges vibe that, again, nothing like a movie like Taxi Driver or a movie like Law Abiding Citizen, this kind of revenge fantasy that really had this gritty, dark feel. No, this reminded me so much of Spider-Man. It felt like a goofy comic book superhero movie. You know, he's talking to the psychiatrist and she's like, I don't know what you're doing, but whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Just everything was so lighthearted and fun, and it was just not what I was expecting, and I think not what would have really honored the source material, and was a huge surprise, because again, you wouldn't think from Eli Roth this is what would happen. And even the opening scene, the opening robbery scene, you know, Eli Roth never wanted to shy away from aestheticizing horrible things and aestheticizing violence. The opening robbery gone wrong scene, just so tame and so bland and so just, yeah, very tame and vanilla. It was shocking to me. And everything was just adding to this goofy tone. The LeBron versus Jordan debate. Dean Norris as one of the cops. Now, first of all, just the fact that it's a huge city, Chicago, and it seems like they're the only two cops in the city. They're investigating every one of these crimes, so it's just goofy. This movie ends with him snacking on a donut. Dean Norris, he looks like a heavier version of Bruce Willis. So just everything was goofy. Now, a few moments I really liked, and where I felt like the goofy, over-the-top aspect worked, were the saleswoman at the gun shop. Now, she was great. The whole scenes at the gun shop I thought were great, and showed what kind of a campy, over-the-top movie, kind of satire, kind of farce parody it could have been when they show like the tactical furniture. I thought that was hilarious, and that played in at the end. There was a great scene with tactical furniture, but again, that's more kind of goofy than really dark. Now, there was one scene where he's got the guy all tied up under the car, and he's interrogating him, one of those great torture interrogation scenes. And now that tone, I thought, was really gritty, had a great realistic, reminded me of Law Abiding Citizen tone. And then when he crushes the guy with the car, it's this great moment of Rothian gore. But that completely contrasted with everything else that came before. Like I was saying, this lighthearted Spider-Man vibe. So I just wish we got a movie that was either more of that kind of gun store, over-enthusiastic saleswoman, kind of campy tone, or this darker, you know, torture interrogation vibe. One of those two. But I think this movie, I think it's a movie that audiences will probably have fun with, but as far as really doing justice to the source material, I think is a massive failure. Now, I will say one aspect I really liked, other than the gun saleswoman being, some would say, inappropriately flirty, talking about these machines of death. Now, the fact that they made him a surgeon, I thought that was a change from the original. I really liked, because it gave him this unique perspective where first he's trying to heal, and the consequences, he sees the consequences of this violence problem every day, and he's trying to just repair and kind of stem up the consequences. But then you see the shift where no, he goes to try to find the root of the problem and start stamping out the evil instead of just dealing with the consequences. And it also gave him this kind of point where he's seeing all these people who are criminals or they're criminal adjacent and victims of the violence just sweeping through. So we get these great scenes of him being able to, there's one scene where he kills someone with a defibrillator. There's another where he's able to kind of investigate and follow up on his own tragedy. So I thought that was a really good change they made. Now, Vincent D'Onofrio, There's this funny article about him being a shapeshifter because he looks like so many different people. In this movie, he's never reminded me more of Vince Vaughn, especially the way he looks, but also his mannerisms. He does the kind of the serious, the whisper that Vince Vaughn sometimes does. He does a goofy yelling as well. So I thought that was very funny. And last thing, they name drop Milton Friedman in this. I'd love to know if they just happened to pick him for the Economist they were going to use, or if that's a bit of a dog whistle to some of the libertarians and other people on the right in their audience. Interesting little touch, I thought.